So the fiat currency system is collapsing. And money, in a way, is a metaphor for the absolute in a way, because it's potential. If you have $1 million in the bank, then there's $1 million worth of potential that can equate into physical movement within the physical realm, basically. And so again, this is all holographic in nature. And it's all because the image from which the hologram is being created is this whole game, this whole realm of consciousness and the absolute and the relative. So the same thing's happening within consciousness. And so human consciousness is shifting attention away from the physical realm and placing it on the thought realm and the digital realm. So in 1971, in order to pay for Vietnam, basically, is Nixon took the United States and therefore the world reserve currency off of the gold standard and made it all fiat, which fiat basically means as is understood, or it's basically all just based on thought. It's based on an agreement that that piece of paper with a symbol on it has value. So for thousands of years, money was a physical, three-dimensional object that had weight and substance to it and was unchanging. And because that there are limits to that system, there's a natural growth to a system that's based on that. But in 1971, and he said it was going to be temporary, of course, right? So there was no longer this standard. So, so the system, the base of the system is the system itself now. See, the fiat currency system, it had a base that was universal and unchanging. So gold and silver take millions of years to be manufactured in the Earth's core and stuff. And it's the same weight for everyone, right? An ounce of silver here is an ounce of silver in any other country. So it was universal and it was unchanging. But because of the switch, it became all different. Every country had their own. And it changed with the thought patterns of the people because it wasn't based on the physical realm anymore. So a system like that if it's self-referential, it has a tendency to get away with itself. And that's what's happening with human consciousness. You see, what used to be the base of your existence, it used to be the physical realm. But now, because of our level of self-awareness, we have come to the realization that we're actually not the body. So we are not the physical. The physical realm is not fundamental reality. So what we've done is we've changed to thought. And thought equals basically fiat currency. And this is why they're both at the same time running away exponentially and causing hyperinflation. So the thought process within human consciousness has hit hyperinflation, hasn't it? You can't stop thinking, can you? And no one else really can either. No one, right? Spiritually inclined meditators have the ability to stop, at least for a while, the thought process. But this is what I mean. This is what my theory is saying, is that it's all holographic and it's all different levels, but all of these levels and metaphors, basically, right? Money is a metaphor, again, for the absolute, because it represents potential. So it's the same. And instead of financial debt, we have karmic debt. But it's the same process that's going on, is that human consciousness is shifting attention away from the physical realm because we know that it's not fundamental, and we're searching. That's all the searching is for, is to find fundamental reality, to find what you really are. So consciousness is just manufacturing a new realm. It's the thought realm, which will be the new realm, which is basically the state prior to the Big Bang, where the Word was with God and the Word was God. Well, Word is thought, and this digital realm that we're moving into, I believe, is a transitory middle ground where the switch takes place. All of these changes require two steps. They don't just flip. There's a subtle midterm in the middle that is required for the switcheroo to take place, and this is the movement into the digital realm. So again, it's all falling apart. The fiat currency system is falling apart because they've lost contact with the base, the source of currency. And you see how it's moving to less and less physicality. It used to be a three-dimensional weighted object. That used to be the money. And then it switched to a two-dimensional expression with symbols on it. And now, even that two-dimensional representation, right? It's still in the physical realm, even though it's two-dimensional and doesn't really have any weight, and it's less substantial because it's got the symbols. The symbols are taking the meaning of the weight, right? The value of the weight used to be the gauge on which the value was based upon, but now it's the symbols on the two-dimensional piece of paper that indicates the value of it. And now even the two-dimensional paper form is becoming extinct because we're moving to completely digital. See, these are the transitionary steps, right? So the symbol, the two-dimensional symbol form that used to be cash, even that's going away. See, that was the intermediary step. And now it's all going to be just thought, right? It's going to be digits on a screen, computer generated digits, not even really physical anymore at all. So instead of going that route and just keep doubling down, and then getting to this hyperinflation where you won't have any control over your thoughts at all, they'll just be running rampant in your consciousness with you having no control over them, just being flipped and flopped and spun around and pushed around by these emotions and these thoughts. It's just another construction of another iteration of Maya.